Good morning. Good afternoon, Scott. I almost screwed
Good
up
afternoon,
there.
Neil.
How you doing?
Yeah. Good.
D-Day. Actually, D-Day plus 7 days. 13 June,
Mm-hmm.
1944, in Caumont, France. Americans versus Germans, and 1st Infantry Division, Big Red 1. And I'm the attackers this time, and I have to take, 12
Yeah.
multi-level stone buildings, provided I haven't lost 29 casualty victory points. So tell me about your defensive setup.
I wanted to center my defense around the church, about the center of the top center of the village there. I put a kill stack. I think I had my best leader and 2 squads, 2 light machine guns. And I just set well, you're limited in the steeple, so half squad with a medium up in the steeple. And then I kind of just spread everything out to try and cover as much as I could. Mostly to the right of center. I kind of strung up several, I don't know, platoon or more of squads just south of that road to the right. Put an elite squad at the end behind the bocage with a Panzerschreck to cover the road junction there. And then I just had like 1 second line squad off to the far left and some dummy stacks. Yeah, my plan was to just try and hold the center, and these guys on the right, I thought they could either fall back to help guard the bottom edge of the village, or maybe even possibly do a little bit of a counterattack, kind of come in on your flank or something maybe. I put my Jag Panzer off to the far right there, lower right.
Yeah, my attack. Well, first I set up some units, that big central mass there. I set some of those guys too far south. I didn't either read or comprehend the SSR. So right at the beginning, I had to move some of those guys back. Threw a little bit of a wrench into my plans, but you had to adapt, I guess. But my general plan was to not worry about the string of buildings on the right, lower right, where you kind of have that arc of concealment counters, but to focus on the center steeple area buildings and then the lower left buildings. And the way I was going to do it was take my main force of units, get across the street, push through those center buildings and get the steeple. And then over on the left, I have 3 Shermans and a stack there with the 80 leader. They were going to cut down through those woods and the orchards and hook up with them kind of where M7 is and hopefully take those buildings. I suspected that one or all of those stacks concealments on the left were dummies. I think only one of them was a real unit. Well, I can't remember. We'll have to see here. And then I put a Sherman in over on the right, kind of to cover your Jag Panzer there, depending on what he was going to do. And then had a Sherman and some more squads in the center that were going to push up on that side of the steeple to support my main group over on the right. So here I go. My Shermans are coming in. That first stack was indeed a dummy stack.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm bringing my guys down the center. I did not expect your 88 LL to be there, to be honest. Your big gun.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of fire lanes available, so I just thought maybe it would help with my left flank.
Yeah, that was a pain in my ass very early on because like I said, I didn't expect it to be there. I don't know where I expected it to be, but that wasn't one of the places.
Yeah, it ends up taking out it kills that whole stack of well, breaks up that whole stack of
Yeah,
infantry, and then ends up taking
pushes
out
them all the
that
way back.
Sherman. But that was about it.
Yeah, definitely held up the center there, and I think you do smoke that Sherman there here in a second.
Yeah, wounded your leader.
There it is. Ooh, toast. On fire. Burning wreck. So I'm already across the street there in the center, and I'm like, wow, that wasn't too bad. Maybe there's some hope here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but as we'll see later, that I get kind of bogged down
Yeah.
too much. And then I'm bringing my Shermans over on your lower left flank. I was going to bring those in as two things to support my infantry and kind of harass you from the rear, and keep an eye on your reinforcements that come in on turn 3, I guess. Yeah, turn 3. They come in kind of on the south edge of the board somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, you're able to get some smoke on the steeple there. I decided to get a little aggressive with my Jag Panzer, went after your Sherman.
Hmm. Yeah, I thought you might. Once you saw my Shermans coming in on the other side, I thought you might loop him around back, but you didn't. You went straight in for the kill on that other Sherman.
Well, yeah, my plan was to go after this Sherman, take it out, and then loop up around the top and come back around. But
Hmm.
as we'll see, that didn't really work out either.
So now I'm bringing my guys down that tree line and orchard line. Now I think I have at this point, now that you revealed your 88 LL, I think I have my sights set on that. Kind of hooking in behind it and trying to take care of it somehow. Have some more
Yeah,
units across the
able
street,
to.
sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. I was able to get a little bit of fire on those guys on the left. I think I pinned a couple, maybe broke a couple.
Hmm.
Kind of held you up a little on the left, but you're pushing pretty hard down the right center.
Yeah, yeah, early on I did pretty well. I mean, uh, in, I'm adjacent to the steeple, and I've got units either across or in the street, most of them. And I left the machine gun in T3 to cover the streets, either to cover someone from flanking me or someone coming across the street from the S8, no 7, for example, and getting back up into R4 to reinforce. I was just trying to cover the street with that medium machine gun.
Yeah, I reacted a little bit to your push about a couple of the squads that were south of the road, kind of sliding them to the left. Took out your Sherman up there, the Jag Panzer. I was going to just work my way across the top of the board.
Yeah. So now, adjacent to the steeple, I have 2 demo charges, and I think one of them is a hero. And I'm like, oh, I got a chance here, but I could not get a demo charge that I can recall into the church or the steeple. I think I threw that demo charge.
Yeah.
You moved in adjacent to my hero. I'm like, I'm hucking this thing because there's a huge stack there. Yeah, it kind of worked. I think I broke everything.
You ended up pouring a bunch of fire into the church, the kill stack there, and I think you were only able to break one squad in the kill stack, and they rallied the next
Yeah,
turn. So
yeah, yeah. Trying to. I think I got a little myopic with my plan. In other words, I focused too much. My focus was to get across the street, hook through the church steeple area, and then down on the left side and take those buildings. I got too hung up on that, and I spent so much time on that damn church that
mm-hmm.
it just caught up with me eventually. Because I could not crack it, and by the time I decided to just screw it and move on, it was getting too late.
You got into the ground floor there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's as far as I got, I think. So my Shermans down below are getting ready to, well, one of them's covering kind of the south end of the village town, and the other one is covering the other side of the board for your reinforcements that are going to come on here. So they're kind of backing each other up there.
So here you're going after my Jag Panzer with a squad. I was just kind of, I thought that was a little. I just figured for sure that you wouldn't. I mean, I knew it was getting kind of close to you, but I thought for sure you wouldn't bother with like trying to take me out with infantry. You would just keep moving down. But
Yeah, I thought about it, but I mean, it was right there, and I figured if I didn't take care of it, it would just sit back. It would just follow me and harass me because I didn't have any Shermans up there. It would have taken me 2 turns to get up there with the Sherman and try to do something. And against the Jag Panzer, I don't recall what its armor is. Yeah, 11, 3. Yeah, yeah.
decent. But
It would have taken me 2 turns to get something up there to try to take care of it. So I figured I'd just run a squad over and try to take it out, which I did. I got lucky.
I got my reinforcements coming on. I bring my Panzer IV on, and
Yeah.
I'm just gonna right after your 2 Shermans. I was looking for casualty victory points.
Hmm.
I figured if I could take out all your Shermans, that would lock the game for me.
I
And you
was
rolled, yeah,
Snake or no. Yeah, I
yeah,
did.
it's a critical hit.
Yeah, I was really surprised because I set those guys up to cover each other, thinking you might bring your tank in close to go after victory points. But I didn't think you'd bring them up that close. I thought you would try to set up differently, but you drove them right there, so I took a shot.
Well, I mean, it's got decent armor too, and then you just got a 75, so I'm like, and I'm moving, so it's like I knew you're gonna, I'm just gonna go up, just go after him
Hmm.
because you'll take a shot, but you'll probably miss. If you hit, you won't penetrate, and then I'll get a shot, and I got a better gun, and
Yeah,
but you roll snake eyes, so.
yeah, you can't, yeah, you can't account for that, I guess. And you brought your other
Uh,
reinforcement squad over on the lower left, which was smart.
yeah, I was. My left flank was hurting, so I didn't want to drive him up through the bottom of the village. Just yeah, rush him up on the. And then I ended up going after your other Sherman. I thought, you know what? While I'm here,
Yeah, which was smart to get me to move at least. I took out your 88, and I debated trying to fire it as a captured weapon into the steeple, but I just destroyed it and tried to move in. I'm still dicking around in the church, and we're at
yeah.
turn 4 already. Bottom of turn 4. It's yeah. At this point, it's looking bad for me. I think at this
Well,
point, I'm starting to think of abandoning the church, but I'm all screwed up now. My units.
and I left those 2 squads out there along the far right, and ended up pushing them up and into your flank. Took a couple of buildings back.
Hmm. Yeah, because I that medium machine gun that's up in X1 that was in
Mm-hmm.
T3, I made the mistake of I didn't see where I moved up, but I moved them, and after I did it, I'm like, shit, I should have just left them there as cover to keep that from
Mm-hmm.
happening, and that's exactly what happened. Yeah, here I'm gonna bypass the church and steeple and try to capture some buildings down south because I have
I
two
think this is
two
about
turns.
the
Yeah,
end.
yeah,
Yeah, that was it. You get threw in the towel because you were running some guys to the open there, and I took them out. And
yeah. I was doing math and the amount of turns and hexes and buildings I needed to get, and I just started running and you mowed some guys down. And I just threw it in at that point. Yeah, my like I said before, my main problem was I spent too much time on the church and the steeple. It was, yeah, that was my game right there.
oh, this was a fun scenario. The momentum swung back and forth quite a bit. It was. I
Yeah,
mean, neither one of us really had a lot left at the end. I didn't have much left really. and
They're dug
yeah,
in
it was
there.
fun.
The steeple dug in. Yeah, it started out pretty well for me. I had pretty good momentum, and then it just kind of faded for
Well,
me.
I'm surprised my kill stack held on that long in the church, really,
Yeah, the whole
because
game.
yeah,
We
it's
had a
crazy.
just about just shy of 300 rolls. Looks like your dice were a little hotter than mine, but I got in this scenario, other than maybe a few dice rolls, like I got that critical hit. I don't feel it was lopsided one way or the other as far as overall dice rolls.
No, pretty even.
Yeah, I did have a pretty hot streak there, and I don't know, turn three it
Hmm.
looks like.
Yeah.
I got kind of hot, and then I cooled off again. Maybe that's when I got the critical hit. It's the average got into there somehow and brought it down. But yeah, good scenario. I think I know my mistake in that scenario. Don't get too focused on something if it's not going to happen. Uh,
Ordinarily, it wouldn't be that hard to take out that position.
I'm not a fan of. I'm a fan of holding steeples. Attacking them sucks. It sucks. Next up, we have Mersenhausen Zoo. It's I think it's a late war scenario in Germany with lots of big toys and weapons to play with. We're working through that one right now.
Yeah.
So we'll see you in Germany.